I gotta start today's show with some bitter sweet
symphony.
It's a bit. No, this is just sad news. I no longer have a Netflix account.
What? Oh God. Why, James?
Well, as everyone knows, I watch one movie on Netflix, and that is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Out of the Shadows. And I recently discovered that it's no longer on Netflix. As I, not a word of a lie, I went to watch it last night.
Yeah.
And I went to my recently viewed, and it wasn't there. And I go, oh, I guess because I haven't seen it in a little while, my recently viewed isn't there. So I went to my list, and it wasn't there. I typed it in, it wasn't there. And I swore, and Erin ran in. She goes, shut up. And I said, but I'm canceling. She goes, well, I watch Netflix. And I said, I don't care. So,
oh boy, yeah,
I don't even know what to do about it.
You texted me this last night. I'm like, I didn't respond, and that's usually when I don't respond.
Actually, you did respond.
Oh yeah, that's after a while though. You kept talking about something. Like I gotta.
It's the only thing I watch on Netflix, and it's gone.
Here's the behind the scenes about me and James. When James is talking about something in text, and I do not want to talk about it, I do not answer because it's just like, here we go. And rightfully so, you're allowed to be upset.
It's the only reason I kept Netflix around. So I have decided to take it upon myself to start a GoFundMe page. GoFundMe.com/GetJamesNinjaTurtles. And it is so that I can purchase it on iTunes for a stupid price of $24.99. Like, what digital copy is worth $24.99? I just want to watch Ninja Turtles.
You should scour like used DVD places, or maybe Walmart. Maybe Walmart's dropped the price.
Okay, it's $10 on Amazon, but I don't know what digital copy it comes with. This is my fear that I'll get like an ultraviolet garbage. I don't want that. I don't want ultraviolet
because you have to be able to take it with you, right?
Well, I have the app for ultraviolet,
right?
It's just annoying to access and then putting it on.
Because I was just going to say buy the Blu-ray and then just have it.
Yes, I can.
I guess
okay, that's $10. But my GoFundMe is for $24.99. Please support me in my endeavor to watch, because I haven't seen it. It's not there, and I actually was excited to watch it last night. It's weird because I've probably seen it 360, like probably enough to watch it for like a full year. So yeah. Anyway, it's been a rough 12 hours for me since I made that discovery, that harsh discovery.
This has been Rebel Scum Turtle Cast. This is Leonardo. I'm Donatello. No, you'd be Donatello, and I'll be Leonardo.
Anyway, it still has The Force Awakens in the last... I think it has Force Awakens. Don't quote me on that. This is Canadian Netflix also. So the American Netflix I don't think ever had Out of the Shadows, because when I was in Florida, when we were in Florida, I tried to watch it there, and I couldn't, and I was like... Yeah. Anyway, Last Jedi was still on there.
Yeah.
I ended up watching nothing.
You just stared into space till you felt the cold embrace of sleep.
It was honestly like I was trying to find it and I couldn't. Then I went on iTunes and Google Play and I was like, why is it $25?
I like to think you just waited for it to come back and like spider webs formed around
I
you.
tweeted at Netflix Canada and I said, should I keep my subscription? What's going on? They've gotten back to me in the past over stupid tweets. This one they were like, you are the only person that's watched this movie. Get a life. Go do something. This is episode 109.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
I can't believe it. I think I'm going to lose control, and I think I like it. Anyways, Star Wars. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, it is a new thing.
I mean, anyone could criticize, like, oh, that movie's no good. Why would you watch it over and over? But we come from a world where, like, we've watched Star Wars several times.
Oh, you're talking about Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows.
Yeah, Ninja Turtles.
Who would ever say that movie is no good? It is a flawless film.
Yeah, I liked it better than the first one. I mean, it's a Ninja Turtle movie, and it was fun. It is. And we saw it in the theater in Toronto, and what's his face?
Casey Jones showed up. New Casey Jones.
Arrow. What's his name?
I've only seen part of it. That guy was there, and he goes, remember what he said, though? Somebody asked him something, he goes, it's a Turtles movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that was like the answer to everything. It's a Turtles movie. And you're like, yes, it is.
I actually have been thinking about the fact that, like, I haven't really watched any of the Star Wars in a while. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I've fallen. Well, I don't buy Blu-rays anymore. I'm like you. I do a lot more digital stuff.
Which is a whole thing now saying that you shouldn't buy digital copies. Have you seen this? Because they can remove those copies.
Oh yes, I did see that.
Which is true, but I have to put in a. First of all, I think the story that like the tweet that they're showing around, I think that's fake news, because I know they can get rid of it. So I've had a couple more on the music side on excuse me, or on like iTunes.
Yeah.
Where you would have the iTunes thing, but they would get rid of it. And the one thing that the one thing for music anyway that iTunes is better for Google with is iTunes gives you the album. Like you have a copy of it. Whereas Google, it lives in the cloud. So once they get rid of it. But here's the thing. Aside from that, I have an album. It's called The Amazing Spider-Man 2 Motion Picture Soundtrack. And I bought it. And Aaron and I came out to the thing, to the
oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Anyway, so I have that album. iTunes no longer has that album. However, without even having the download copy, I can still listen to the album on cool. Apple Play.
But it's annoying because, like, I'll buy a few digital copies, but, like, we live in a world with Netflix and Spotify and Apple Radio. What's the Apple version? Music. Apple Music. So it's like, why even buy? It's like...
Because they get rid of Ninja Turtles out of the shadows, exactly. Brock.
But... You know,
no, that's the thing. But I'm just saying, like, and I have a movie that they got rid of. I can't remember if it was on Google or Apple, but I know that they got rid of it, and I was still able to play it. Yeah. And I still have the download, because Apple, for movies, you can download it to your device. So I have the Apple TV where I can download it there, and once it's downloaded there, they're not gonna like it's still there. Like the one that they got rid of is still there. So I think that's an over exaggeration, but it can be deleted. Yeah,
but like since I bought Last Jedi, which came out earlier this year,
March.
I haven't really watched it since then. Like it's all the truth of like a lot of the new Star Wars movies. I like the Star Wars movies, but I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's weird. It's like it's amazing this effect that these new streaming services that are on it has effect on us. I stay up at night and like, oh, do I really like Star Wars anymore? I don't watch it as much as I do.
And so maybe and then you text me saying I don't. I'm looking for it. I haven't bought Solo because I don't have a job, so it's really difficult for me to put together $24.99, which is a stupid price for something in the cloud.
Yeah, but you know,
24. I'll get it when it's $10.
Yeah, exactly.
Solo will never be $10. It's a Disney movie. It'll go down to it might go down to $12.99. $19.99 for sure. Yeah. If you're listening in America, it's already $19.99. Congratulations. It's cheaper in the Canadian store.
And outside the fact that we have a Star Wars podcast, and we know things are changing with Netflix, with the Disney streaming service, but like, why? If none of that was happening and we didn't have a podcast, you would probably just get to the point of like, I'll just wait for it to come on Netflix. Like, why do I spend any money at all?
Yeah. Solo I think I would get.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing. We like these movies, so we want to buy. I haven't bought it, but like this is what I mean. Like, I don't rush out to buy anything anymore because I'm like, click. Oh, I got it. Perfect.
Yeah, and they've said that Solo is gonna be the last Disney Star Wars film to show up on Netflix forever. Right. How long I don't know, but then that's the thing though. As soon as this Disney streaming service comes on, and like I don't know how it is on American Netflix, but Canadian Netflix has like every single Marvel film. Like every Marvel film is on there now.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to disagree with you. Well.
Okay, 90% of the Marvel films are on there.
Because you can't...
Doctor Strange is definitely on there.
Like, the newer ones, for sure. But, like, when Infinity War came out, I wanted to watch Age of Ultron.
Gone. Oh, it's gone now?
Oh, it was gone before at that time.
Yeah, it was on for a while. Weird. They used to have Iron Man and Thor, and then they disappeared, but I think they're back now. Anyway, it doesn't matter because the Disney one is going to have them all.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, if you're like, I bought Ant-Man for $24.99, that's great, but it's going to be on, like... Is it worth it anymore to buy these? How do we get on this topic?
I don't know.
Freaking Ninja Turtles.
Oh, you Ninja Turtles. Let's talk about our real topics about Star Wars. Jonathan Kasdan.
JK. The real JK.
The Rowling JK.
Before the Rowling.
He did a 53. What was it? 53
facts.
Or like dumb facts.
Yeah, he did this on Thursday or Friday. He sent out a tweet. He said, because there's no commentary, enjoy. And it was a novel. 53
facts about Solo.
A Star Wars story.
a lot of stuff like opinions on like what his favorite stuff is, what he loves about Star Wars, how they did scenes, what was the first idea, what was the final idea, obviously. Very, very cool. Go to his Twitter. It's all there. But we'll talk about it. But like, what were the ones that stood out for you, James? Because some of them are like, oh, that's fun. But some are like, oh my God.
I'm going to not mention the big one.
Okay.
Because we're going to get into that.
Yeah.
The big one being that Beckett is the best. Some that stood out to me was definitely I gotta steal your thunder on this one, but it's the Bosk at the end of the movie with Enfys Nest, how Bosk was supposed to be there. That one
he was supposed to be the number 2, so not
not Weasel.
Yeah.
Or
Warwick Davis.
Or Tubes. He also mentions Warwick Davis. I'll get into the Bosk thing in a second, but like the Danny Newton thing and the Lando was so good thing.
Yeah.
They didn't really Yeah, I got it. There's a lot of those, like, cool. But it was definitely Bosk. Bosk was supposed to be Enfys Nest number 2, and then he would leave her at the end because he does his own thing and kind of disperse that way. I like that. That was the one thing that I was like, oh, that's cool, but I'm glad they changed it. Personally, I know you're a big Bosk guy, but I'm glad they... I shouldn't say I'm glad.
I mean, he gets mentioned in the film, so that's enough.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. So you brought this one to me where you're like, he mentions that him and Lawrence Kasdan's favorite character is Bosk.
Yeah, it was like, we love Han Solo. He's our favorite character after Bosk. I'm like...
And when you read it, you're like, is that serious or is it a joke? Then you read this one, you're like, oh, Bosk was going to be in it. And then I'm curious to know when Danny Newton mentions Bosk in that scene.
Yeah.
Was Bosk added to that line of dialogue because he was cut from the Enfys Nest stuff? And they were like, we still want Bosk in this. And so like they kind of like... Because when she mentions Bosk, it could be any character. It doesn't have to be a name of anybody we know.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if that's why.
I mean, we could have. My first reaction is to say yes, as much Bosk as possible. But then I was like, well, then it doesn't. If he's with Enfys Nest, why would they add him to their crew? But they're all wearing masks.
Yeah, like they wouldn't know that he's part
until the very end, which would have been interesting.
I think I need to tweet at John Kasdan.
I mean, maybe it wouldn't be as like... that would be funny, because Enfys Nest takes off her mask, and it's like, she's young, I guess. It's like, boom! But then if you had Bosk, and then also Warwick Davis taking his helmet off at the same time, be like, oh. Well, actually, I guess that effect was... Because the second you see a roadie, and you're like, ooh, is that...
And
like,
Tubes.
And then, 2 Tubes. You're like, who is that? I guess it would be the same effect. I just like it because I think that's the other thing. The thing that stood out for me, and obviously, like he's gonna say this. He's like, "Oh, this is how we would." There's more to tell. There's more. We have more ideas. And when you watch Han Solo, you're like, "Yeah, they could totally make a second movie." And if that'll happen, who knows? Like, because unfortunately, it was weird. So I was listening to something. They're like, "It was a success." I'm like, I don't know if it was a success. That's the thing. I mean, unfortunately, we won't get another story unless they think it's
the thing that's
money.
crazy.
I think.
I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna throw up some numbers here because it's a weird.
But anyways, I think the point why I brought that up is like, it would be awesome to see another movie where we just get more and more into the underbelly of smugglers and bounty hunters and crime lords, which I think we could get in another movie. That's why I hope, like, if we can get a Han Solo movie, we get, a Boba Fett movie where it ties in somehow. And then you get, you know what? Screw them and just put Alden Ehrenreich in it as well. Like,
okay, I've got some numbers here for you.
Yes.
Here's the top 10 movies of 2018.
Top 10.
1, Black Panther.
Yeah.
2, Avengers Infinity War.
Right.
Which is kind of surprising. You figure it would be reversed. I mean, there's also like 5 months in between them, so maybe there's not much money between them either right now. But anyway, who cares? Incredibles 2, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, seriously, Deadpool 2, Mission Impossible: Fallout, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Solo: A Star Wars Story, Quiet Place, Hotel Transylvania, 3, Summer Vacation, probably deserves to be number 1.
So that's number 10?
That's number 10. Crazy Rich Asians is number 11, so that's probably going to pass Hotel Transylvania for sure. And the rest won't. But anyway, so here are the numbers, okay? 700 million for Black Panthers. 678 for Infinity War. 605 for Incredibles 2. 416. These are all 100 million.
Yeah.
416 for Jurassic World. How are you? Mission Impossible or Deadpool 2, 318. Then okay, here's where it is. 6, 7, and 8. Mission Impossible Fallout, 216 million. Ant-Man and the Wasp, 215 million. Solo, 213 million. So, aside from the fact that Solo had all the reshoots and they made 2 movies for the price of 2 movies. Yeah. Really, if you're looking at Ant-Man and Mission Impossible as being successes, isn't Solo a success?
Yeah, I know. I think
And Solo had the biggest opening of those 3 movies.
Yeah, the problem is like the asterisk of they had to reshoot so much. So it's like...
But whose problem is it? Like, here's the thing. Disney, Lucasfilm, did those reshoots. No, like, there was that article like a year ago saying this movie's going to bomb.
Yeah.
So this is technically a bomb for Solo, but a success for Mission Impossible. $3 million. Like, Bob Iger could go into his pocket and just be like...
Yeah, and if Tom Cruise wants to, they'll make another Mission Impossible.
Yeah, so... That's the question. Like, okay, yeah, we can all sit back and be like, well, the reshoot, the movie cost $500 million.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
okay,
I wish we didn't know that.
And overseas, it doesn't do as well. But
yeah,
but China hates Star Wars.
Yeah,
like that's just the thing.
It has no bearing on which Star Wars you do.
Yeah, it loves Marvel, whatever. That's fine. So the thing is, yeah, they spent all that money, but they knew how much money it was going to make, and they knew how much they were putting into it.
Yeah,
and to you or I, it doesn't matter. And if they're looking at doing a sequel, they look at these numbers, they're like, okay, is it going to make less? Probably.
Yeah.
So put less money into it.
So Infinity War and Black Panther, I'm more surprised by Infinity War, did not make $1 billion?
Domestically.
Oh, I see. Okay, never mind. You don't have to look up the whole thing, but...
These are domestic.
Yeah. I gotcha.
I think domestically, Avengers is the highest grossing of the year.
I guess my point is, I would love a second Han Solo movie, or like I said, make it one of the other movies and just put all those same characters in it. Because, like, I don't know, maybe you can get around it that way.
I can't wait for the person. We're actually Solo's money. just
yeah, I mean, whatever. Like,
we like Star Wars.
Yeah. Though we love to hate Last Jedi. I would love to see that movie. Anyway, so back to John Kasdan. Yeah, like, you gotta read this. The love for this movie from him is amazing. Which, obviously, he created parts of it. Or he wrote the script.
Yeah, with his...
But, like, there's rewrites and stuff. Like, it's interesting because it's you really get the sense of how much of a collaboration a movie is with how he mentions a lot of things. And it sounds like, as much as it was a tough slog to get the movie done, there's a lot of, like, amazing points. I mean, I only saw parts of it, but I think there's, like, something on the deleted scenes, or maybe it's just a YouTube clip that I saw. Ron Howard's talking to the cast, and they're sitting at a Starbucks table, and it's just like it's only a brief thing. He asked, like, Alden Ehrenreich a question, but, like, you could get the sense that they're like, oh, this was fun. I mean, I know they're actors and they're very good at pretending to like something, but, like, it was like, this seems like fun. Like, they had a good time.
Even Michael K. Williams says he's like, I'm hoping to come back to Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
like I think they did have a good time. I think I have no idea how the Lord and Miller thing was going down, but it sounded like some people were not having a good time during that. And I think getting Uncle Ron in there was what you do, because he's obviously knows how to handle a set. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what stuff I like about it. Well, I mean, case in point, and how he loves this movie, it's how he says, I don't know if this movie works, but what works is the scene where Han gets into the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon for the first time. And love it or hate that movie, you can't deny, like, yeah, this is the moment. Like, it's not like, ba 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 so much. It's just like, he sits down and you're like...
And the music cue, like the whole... Everything about that scene.
Yeah, because what do they play?
They play the Star Wars theme.
The theme, right.
Like, it's like you're like old school, like...
Yeah.
Like, I saw that clip before we saw it in the theater. because they posted it, and I was stupid, and I watched it, and I was like, yeah.
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 So, I don't know. There's... I like the part where he talked about the original ideas for the gang on Corellia. Like the white worms is like a nod to a Lovecraft or an Edward, what's his name? Edgar Allan Poe poem. So I was like, that's cool. But originally they were supposed to be like vampires. So the idea of them being like weak to sunlight is probably one of the remnants of it. I guess like Moloch is a reference to Howl by, oh God, what's his name? I have it on the shelf here. Anyways, Howl if you know what Howl is, you'll just look it up. It's a book, but it's also poetry. And apparently there's reference to Moloch in it, so I'm going to look that up later. What else did you like, James?
I liked, if the movie was just Lando dictating to himself, would it made more money? Probably. I like that. I like that. You like Glover as Lando, right?
Oh, yeah. I thought it was great. I think there's not enough of him in it. John Kasdan references that like he was definitely Lando from the get-go, and this is before Atlanta. So people weren't like, oh, yeah, he's very artsy. Like, him becoming Lando was before he became he won awards for that show, and not because the internet, the album out, Release My Love or whatever, the one where he's an R&B, it's a lot of R&B, like funky songs, whatever. Redbone is on it. Like before all that, where people are like, oh, this guy, like, even though like people have known who he is for a long time, like it's like, oh wow, like critical acclaim sort of things. So yeah. What else? What was Bosk? Talked about that. There was talk of like there was a fourth member in Beckett's band that was supposed to be like the muscle that Chewbacca would replace. I like that. And apparently there's a draft where they left him there and they had to steal like a garbage truck or garbage ship.
This one I really liked as well. It's number 50. So if you just skim it, you don't read the whole thing, you're going to miss this one. But it's the last line of this. So he goes, blah, 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 blah. The third act, the resolution of Han and Kira, has yet to be told. Yeah. That's like...
Make that movie! I mean... I mean, you don't even have to be a Han Solo fan. Like, what if you're a Darth Maul fan and you're like, I need to know more? So, like, just a movie on whatever Maul's doing with Crimson Dawn. Like, yeah. And he mentions, like, that Maul definitely was on the radar for a long time, I believe. Because there's a lot of I mean, they say that, but then also they say Ron Howard's like, oh, my son said we should put Darth Maul, because we reported that story.
Well, there was a list.
Yeah.
And I'll bet you Maul was high on the list.
Yeah.
Like, and then Ron Howard had the final say on it.
Right.
You know, I wonder if Lord and Miller would have gone with Maul.
Probably, I don't know. Probably. I would love to see theirs as well. I don't want to make it sound like I didn't like Han Solo, but I was like, oh, show us. Because they were saying, oh, Alden Ehrenreich is like, he's acting like he's Jim Carrey and Ace Ventura. I'm like, really? I thought he did a decent job. I mean, obviously, this is reshoots, but like, what exactly happened? I want to know.
It was the improv. I think the improv was killing, and my guess is, cinematography-wise, it was not. That cinematography does not work with improv. Like, that lighting is so specific.
Yeah.
It's not, how we have it lit, I just walked away and came back and no one even knew.
No one even knew.
No one knew. Everyone's like, James is still there.
What was I gonna say?
That's what I think there's so much setup and everything with this that I think that's what caused
you mentioned improv. Maybe that's perhaps how like the snowball fight deleted scene comes about. You're like, this doesn't feel like a part of the script. It feels like something cool that happened and they rolled on it.
I love that scene.
Yeah.
It
would not have worked, but...
Yeah, like, I like when people are like, they should have included all of these in the movie. The thing with deleted scenes that people forget is they're not in the movie for a reason.
Yeah.
There is a reason why things have been deleted.
Yeah.
Usually it's because they don't fit, it takes too much time.
Yeah.
I mean, something isolated could be fine, but you put it in the movie, you're like, That doesn't need to be there. I want to get to Maul. Let's get to Maul.
Exactly.
Which was the second time, because I've only seen the movie twice.
Yeah.
But the second time we saw it, I never had that feeling. I was like, let's just get to Maul. I was on board for the whole 2 hours, 2:15, whatever it is. I was like, this is fun. Arguably, I don't know how long it is. 2:15, I think. It probably could be 2 hours or under 2 hours. I think most movies could be, but that's me. Not Netflix movies. They're pretty bad. Although it looks like Netflix movies are going to be really good coming up soon.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know why I thought of that. Movies are long.
Movies are long.
Yeah, like Lord of the Rings is allowed to be long because it's an epic.
Yeah.
But if your movie is not an epic, 90 minutes, you're good.
Yeah, exactly.
If you can't tell it in 90 minutes, is it worth telling?
Yeah.
Think of that.
Boom.
Except Star Wars, it could be long.
Yeah. Because it's an epic.
Do you think Last Jedi is too long? Love to hate it.
No, I don't think so. I think the only long movie I watched last year was Blade Runner 2. Blade Runner 2?
Yeah.
Was that the full title?
No, it's called Blade Runner 2000.
Return of the King.
I don't know what. I haven't seen that movie. I
saw 20 whatever.
I haven't seen the original Blade Runner still.
What?
Yeah. So I'm like.
Yeah, you like. I think you can like Blade Runner.
But everyone it's so long, and it was on the movie channel, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll watch this. It was on The Man. I was like, maybe I'll watch this, and I was like, holy shnikes, this is gonna take 4 days for me to watch, and I just can't invest my time.
And I'm not saying that this is long. I don't know if I like this movie. It's just a long film. The Last Jedi, no, I feel like it keeps you on your toes for most of it. It doesn't feel, I don't know. It is true. Movies are just getting long, or we're just getting older. I can't really tell.
The Last Jedi, and this is my love to hate it, is it's long, but it's too fast.
Yeah,
that's always been my thing since I think we first reviewed it. I was like, I just wish it took time to breathe every once in a while. Luke says, breathe, just breathe.
This is what I worry about with episode 9, and we're like, oh, these new actors are new characters. It's we don't. I've said it before. We don't need any new characters aside from characters to get us to places. But you don't hire half these actors and not give them. Maybe you do. I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you're saying there, but at the same time, Akbar didn't show up to Return of the Jedi.
True, but
show up. Lando doesn't show up to Empire. So if they serve the story, fine. But what you're saying is we have enough characters that can serve the story.
Yeah.
Side Akbar, I gotta cut into what we're talking about here. Have you heard the new rumor that you sent me? I think did you send me this? About the traitor?
Yeah, there's a traitor in the first order.
I have to go into this.
Yeah.
This is stupid. First of all, it's Hux, right?
That's what
the
thing is.
So, can I rewind to 2000 and when the Force Awakens came out?
2015?
Let's rewind to that September. I was working a hockey production, and I was walking around the hockey arena like this. And I had my phone. I'm like, I gotta get ready for this week's podcast. And I started swiping. And there was the rumors of The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
We knew what it was called. No, did we know what it was called at that point? We did. So, anyway, there's rumors of this movie. And they were Domhnall Gleeson is Luke's son and is a traitor and is working in the First Order.
Whoa.
That is still happening.
Yeah. Possibly.
Yeah,
I mean, he has his father character in the books, right? I'm a big fan of Domhnall Gleeson, so the more stuff you can give him in that movie would be amazing. Especially, I feel like if you were to have him betray Kylo Ren, because they're basically hate each other, it kind of makes up for the way he's treated in Last Jedi, where he's sort of like a buffoon, where they have to explain everything to him, it seems like, or whatever. Though, I mean, maybe that makes sense. If he's if Snoke's hubris is enough to for him to ignore the fact that he might he can just say oh, you're up to something. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like you can't trick a Sith or a Jedi. You know what I mean? Maybe you can.
Good thing.
Is there an example?
Kylo Ren is neither.
Yeah, you know what I mean though. They haven't named.
I love they're just because you don't call something a Sith doesn't change the audience perception of what that character is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the bad guy's the bad guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, unless you're the Power Ranger creator, and then you think it's stupid. and Star Wars is effing horrible. Did you hear about that?
No.
The guy who created Power Rangers says that Star Wars is effing horrible because the bad guys are just the bad guys.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, I know what he's trying to say, but
like
he also
the new Power Rangers or like the original?
I think he created just Power Rangers in general.
Oh,
I'm not a Power Ranger guy. I saw the movie and I thought the first half of the movie was fun. And then when they became Power Rangers, I lost all interest. Kind of like the first Transformers movie, where I'm like, this is fun. And then the Optimus Prime showed up, and I'm like, I've lost interest in this movie. When it was Shia LaBeouf and Bumblebee, I was like, I want to watch this.
Yeah. The Bumblebee movie that's coming out, I want to see this.
It's just going to be like the first hour of the Transformers movie, because I will watch that.
And it looks like this Bumblebee with Haley Steinfeld is not going to be able to talk either. So I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
I think I told you this. I can't remember if I told you this or I told someone else. I just like the idea in that trailer for Bumblebee where she, like, the car's acting up, so she gets on the roller thing to look underneath the car, and she sees the face like an actual Transformer where it would be under the car. I'm like, yeah. Perfect.
I still think it's weird that she's a mechanic.
Oh, why? Because
women can't be me. No, Aaron can do more with the car than I can.
Yeah.
It's because she's like 16.
Oh yeah.
Look, I know that they can do things, but you're not like a mechanic. She would have to be like a student in school taking automotive.
True. I don't know.
Look, I'm just putting holes in the Bumblebee movie. This is coming from a guy who's mad that he can't watch Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows, which is just perfect.
But you know what? Like, they want to keep these franchises alive. They got to keep us interested. So,
yeah. Anyway,
yeah. So that rumor about the betrayal in the First Order. Yeah, I like that. I mean,
I think part of that is I think that whole article theory is just based on obviously this has to happen. I think because the feeling is Hux and Kylo aren't friends, and something has to come up between them. I don't know. Like, every time I read something now about Episode 9, it's like, yeah. Like, is this movie just gonna be a whole bunch of
I mean, after this week of like Henry Cavill is no longer being Superman,
don't even start with me.
And then his agent said, "Oh no, we didn't say that." And then he releases some random
that was the
Twitter
best video. I died laughing
to the point where like I don't care. I don't believe anything now until I see a movie with a different character.
This is the thing with the Henry Cavill thing is if Superman's not in a movie for another 10 years, then I don't know. I think have you seen the Joker stills?
Yeah.
What'd you think of those?
I was like, oh, that's Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, that movie I'm curious about.
Yeah, I'll go see that movie.
I might go if the trailer's not like. I'm curious about them because Todd Phillips, he's either like his movies are like the best. Or like flush it
or War Dogs.
Yeah, I haven't seen War Dogs, but the thing is, okay, so War Dogs wasn't good.
I thought it was all right.
That means Joker's gonna be good because it goes like this. His movies go like this.
Oh yeah, okay.
They are staggered. They're staggered. So you go like Road Trip. Wait, that doesn't count. We'll throw that away. That's like
I was just listening to a podcast talking about Road Trip.
Because you know when you do like when you have like figure skating competitions, you take out the high score and the low score. So Road Trip's gone.
Yeah,
we take it out. Then you got Old School.
Yep.
Starsky and Hutch.
Hangover.
Wait,
or is it?
There's something before Hangover. Okay, Hangover.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Mr. Woodcock, School for Scoundrels movie. Garbage. Then you got Hangover 2. Okay. Hangover 3. Get out of here. And then you got...
well, yeah, what else did he do?
He did something else that was good. And then after that good movie was War Dogs. Yeah. So Joker's got to be good. Yeah, this is the Todd Phillips... Fair. Yeah, mathematics, guys. Mathematics.
I like it. I can get behind that.
So he could do a Star Wars movie as long as it's not right after the Joker movie. He's got to do School for Scoundrels 2. Then he could do Star Wars.
Damn it. Like... Billy Bob Thornton, do us a solid.
He hasn't been in anything lately. He would do that.
Yeah,
was he at TIFF? Probably.
I don't know. But Qui-Gon Jinn, a.k.a. Liam Neeson, was. And I was walking by when he was on the red carpet. I saw him on a screen from afar.
Do you get excited over celebrity sightings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I never talked about it. I was like 10 feet away from Hayden Christensen a couple weeks ago.
Baseball.
No, after that, because he was there. He was in Toronto for the premiere of Little Italy, and I happened to be working at the Cineplex the same day that they were doing the premiere.
No, you weren't serving popcorn.
No, I was pulling out a corporate show that happened in the theater that they were doing the premiere, and they only gave us 30 minutes to get all their stuff out. So we're rushing down. Our truck wasn't on time to pick up all of our cases because we were done early. So we're sitting in the loading dock area of the Scotiabank Theater, and all these black like SUVs pull up. I saw Jane Seymour, Dr. Mike, Medicine Woman. I believe Danny Aiello. I think he's in that movie. Andrea Martin, Toronto's own.
Yeah.
And then, what's her face? Emma Roberts, and then...
Wait, is Andrea Martin in Little Italy?
Yeah, because she's like, even though I don't think she's Italian, they're like,
she's in My Big Fat Great. She's Greek, no?
Yeah.
She's hilarious.
She's like,
it doesn't matter.
She's ethnically ambiguous, so we'll put her...
She's hilarious.
Oh, yeah, no, nothing against Andrea Martin. God bless you.
Hilarious.
But I did think, like, did she just get automatic because she's local and like...
But here's a question, Brock. If you were doing a comedy and you're shooting it here or there or wherever,
yeah,
and you can get Andrea Martin in the comedy,
are
you not putting her in the movie?
Oh, yes.
Exactly. She has brown hair. She's a brunette. She could play an Italian.
Probably steals the show. I will not see Little Lily, but like... And then, of course, the hater of sand, Hayden Christensen. I was like...
When he walked by you, did you shout out, "You're going down a path I can't follow"?
Take the elevator to the high ground. Yeah, so
I always have the high
ground.
That
being said, did I stop and do anything? Did I take a picture? No,
yes.
Because one, I'm on the clock, so I have to be professional, and I don't want to get kicked out of the Scotiabank Theater. And he's a person. Who cares? I mean, who cares? He's a person. So
he's a person, and
he
his
has
name
his
is
own
Anakin.
privacy. Oh my god! Somebody sent me something about him, and they're like, "Oh, yo, this is maybe like making fun of him." It's like his name is Anakin. He's a person. Yeah. So that is my answer.
Anakin.
That's my long answer to: do I care about celebrities? I mean, yeah, they're fun. I like to go to Q&As at like conventions and hear them talk.
Yeah.
But I don't. It's weird. Like I don't want to invade their space. Yeah, I've never had a real conversation with celebrities, so it might be different then. But like I don't know.
My favorite encounter with a celebrity ever was Liv Tyler in New York City. Have I ever told you that?
No.
Sorry, I'm trying to get on our website to find out. Never told me that. It was I was in New York, and I was walking for like 7 hours with my friend, and I was starving. I'm like, we gotta eat, and I'm really hungry, and we're walking, and I don't even know where we are in Manhattan, but we are somewhere, and all I hear is, "Are you hungry?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am." Who was talking? And like, "Are you hungry? You want pizza?" I was like, "What is going on?" And I turn around, and Liv Tyler's there with, I think, her kid.
Yeah.
She's asking kid if she wants pizza. I'm like, "I want pizza." Mm-hmm. Where are you going? Because you probably know where good pizza is. Anyway, I didn't tell my friend that Liv Tyler was there. He was very mad. I didn't. She was with her kid.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was.
So was she talking to you? Or she talking to her kid?
But it was funny because I was thinking about food, and then all I heard is, "Are you hungry?" And I was like, that's why I turned. I didn't recognize the voice or anything. This was like 10 years ago now. Did she have it? Maybe less than that. Maybe does she have a kid? Anyway, it was her with a kid. And it was. And I didn't tell my friend. He's like, "Why are you telling me?" Like, because she was gonna get pizza with her kid. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if she said what pizza place and it was close by, I probably would have gone for a slice of pizza. But I didn't. So.
All right, let's get to Tell Me the Odds. Never Tell Me the Odds.
This is from our Patreon pal, Dennis Allen,
victor of our trivia contest versus Andrew. Yes, Andrew.
No, everyone beats Andrew, so it's not really.
Hey, I still believe in you, Den.
No, Den, he could beat us in trivia.
No, I know.
This is why we're not on trivia. Okay, here we go. These are great, though. Because the first one. What are the odds we see the Emperor in the live-action television show?
Oh, live action. See, that's interesting right there. Because when I first read it, I was like, oh, we had him in Rebels, but that's a cartoon.
And he's saying if it's about the crime syndicates...
Yeah, like maybe he can.
Then maybe Palpatine will be a relevant character. Now I believe it's about Mandalore.
Yeah. When does it take place?
4 years after Empire or Jedi?
Okay. I want to say 75%. Because what else is Ian McDiarmid doing right now? Please tell me what he's doing. Because it's like, does he act still? Yeah, it'd be awesome.
He's in Sleepy Hollow.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He is in Sleepy Hollow. But that's old.
I know. It's older than...
It's older than the
two
prequel?
of three... Than two of the three prequels.
Okay. Yeah, no.
It's a great movie, though.
I think that would be great because he could still do it.
Yeah, I think even if it takes place after he's dead, he can come back as a hologram or something. And the question that we keep bringing up, I think mostly me, is what is Star Wars?
Yeah.
And I think the Emperor and all that is a huge part of Star Wars. So I'm going to go 71%.
Ooh.
Second, and in the same blood vein, what are the odds of Snokey having an episode in a later season? I like this one, of Resistance. If there are later seasons, it's a good bracket. It could get canceled. We don't know. So will Snoke appear in Resistance at some point?
I think it's going to be high. I mean, he's definitely going to get mentioned. I'm going to say 80% because you've killed him off. Let's explain some of it. It'd be interesting because like the whole mission is Poe sending these new characters to go mess around with the First Order, right? Like it's like infiltrate and like stop them and what have you. So why not? Like it's easy. Yeah. What do you think?
I think it's a missed opportunity if they don't. But at the same time, it's tricky because I haven't seen the show.
Yeah.
But Phasma's in it.
Yeah, and Poe and BB-8.
Is Hux in it? Right now, we haven't heard of Hux. Like, why wouldn't Hux or Kylo Ren be in it if Phasma's in it? So from that perspective, it might not deal with the dark side of things.
My guess is if it just has a successful first season,
100%
Snoke in the second season.
Yeah, 100% Snoke shows up at some point. I don't think first season, though. And then we'll go into an odd that you created.
Sure. The
odds that people will boycott Resistance.
Yes, because I have a story in Hollow News about this, and you know everyone wants to give their opinion on Star Wars, and people are like, I don't really like Resistance after seeing the first trailer because of the animation. It looks like kids animation. I'm like, all these shows were for kids, but
that was the same argument. Sorry to cut you off. The same argument that people were saying about Rebels when Rebels were starting. This looks like it's for kids. Disney ruined Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean. The trailer for season 7 of Clone Wars is even more cutesier, if you will. I mean, Anakin looks more rounded or whatever. But people have no problem with that, to my knowledge. So I just threw it out there. It's like, do you think people will boycott this? Because like that's what we do with Star Wars things now.
We boycott it because it's not what we want.
I'm going to go, even though I made this odd up, I'm going to go 30%. I feel like there's going to be something that comes up. But at the end of the day, like if you sell something to kids, they're probably going to watch it like ad nauseum.
My thing with this for kids that I'm curious about, because I'm going to base this off of the only basis that I can is my nieces and nephews. Because I'm not a kid. And I don't know many other kids.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a couple, but they're like one. So I don't watch TV. They're like, colors!
Yeah.
Paw Patrol. We went through this. So, based on that, I don't know if... I can't tell if they'd be into Resistance. I haven't seen them. I have seen them, but I haven't shown them the trailer for it.
Yep.
Whereas the new Ninja Turtle show, they were like head over heels. Like, we gotta watch. When I showed them that trailer. But the styles are so severely different.
Yeah.
At the same time, I think if you did a Star Wars show in the style of that Ninja Turtle show... people would probably burn Millennium Falcons.
But you can use that as an example because it's a huge change of animation style from the last Ninja Turtle show.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's similar to that Teen Titans Go style, the new DuckTales style, like that weird, I don't know, there's something about it that's different, and kids are definitely drawn to that.
Yeah.
Whereas this style, the Resistance style, and here's the other thing though, is on all these Facebook groups that I'm on, a lot of people have said that their kids really, really like the trailer. So based on that, yeah, like I'm curious to see how kids respond to it.
Yeah.
Because you and I are gonna watch it.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but for me, if it's like Rebels and I get it and if I like it, I'll keep up with it. And if I don't like it, I'll just let it be.
Yeah.
And then if you're like, Snoke is on this week's episode, I'll make sure to watch that episode. Like if there's something big happening, I'll make sure to keep up with it, mostly for the show and stuff. But like, you know how I am with TV shows. I can easily ignore it if I want to. I have no issue with that. But if I like it, I'll stick with it. And if I'm kind of like this with it, I'll probably just let it slide. And then maybe like a year later when you're like, season 2 was amazing, I'll get into it.
I mean, I feel like the cartoons are what the expanded universe was for us in the 80s and 90s, where it's like, oh wow, there's all this stuff. Like, I feel like the cartoons, maybe they're for fans like us, but like the kids will watch it, and then what if they're people that are kids that want to become adults and like Star Wars, they'll watch it again, like, oh, I see how this all connects. That was one of the fun things about the expanded universe, where it all kind of connects in some way, or it's like, hey, whatever happened to this? Here's your answer. Like, so yeah, I'm excited for that show.
I don't know if you can boycott Resistance either. That's the other thing.
I don't know.
Like movies, you're like, I'm not gonna go. That's one thing.
Yeah.
But this is on TV, and I don't know how you.
I mean, you could get terrible ratings. So
yeah, but I don't know. But if it's kids will watch Colors though. Like this is what I mean. Like you just throw it on. If you're a Star Wars fan, and you're like, I don't want to watch it. But here's the thing too: is I think a lot of the people that bitch about this don't have kids. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, this is for kids. But if you or I had a kid, we're like, and I was like, this is for kids. Watch it, and then I'll walk away. You know, like go babysit the kid. Okay, you're gonna watch this show now because it's Star Wars, and you're gonna get into Star Wars, and then I'll walk away. And that's how. And then when I want to watch it with it, I'll put on The Last Jedi or something. So I'm gonna go 30%.
Yeah,
I think our percentages have all been the exact same this week. Now it's time for a part of the show I like to call James records an Instagram story while Brock reads the news.
It's the Hollow news. We don't have a lot of news because we kind of talked about a lot of it, but there's some fun little tidbits. You know, we're in a slow period right now for Star Wars, I guess. What is this? Oh, this is an old one. I opened an old Hollow news file. Okay, I can go. Shoot, where is it? Okay, I know the first story off the top of my head. Gaten Matarazzo from Stranger Things fame is he was at Fan X convention. That's not Fan Expo, but Fan X. He was at Q&A, and people asked, what movies would you like to be in if you could choose any movie? And he said he would love to be in the next Star Wars film if he could. He's a big Star Wars fan to the point that apparently it was his birthday the day he was at the convention. So they brought out people in Star Wars like costumes. So it was like, I assume stormtroopers and, you know, whatever. The 501st was probably doing. So he was excited about that, saying that he's been a fan of Star Wars since he was like 6 years old. Yeah, he would love to be in it. They're like, oh, when are you going to be in Star Wars? He's like, I don't know. Do you know? Because I would love to know. He also said he would gladly be in a Jaws reboot if it ever came about.
What?
Yeah, that's so, based on almost nothing. That's pretty much it. Let me see if I can find... This one I needed a paperwork for, but basically there's a new featurette for Resistance on the Star Wars YouTube channel called The Aces, which is what the squadron is going to be referred to on the show. Check it out. It's long. It's about maybe 10 minutes. It shows you all the characters, the voice actors. I do not have the list in front of me, so I can't name the characters. I haven't memorized them yet, but there's a lot of interesting characters. Like there's a female lead, which is like who interacts a lot with the male lead. I forget what his name is. It's like Asian, but he is a hotshot pilot who gets in a mess with somehow with the First Order, which brings Poe's attention to him. He's like, oh, I want you to keep doing this. So they create this squadron, I suppose. She's sort of his foil, I guess, or like they interact quite a bit. and she's a really good pilot. There's a retired TIE fighter pilot that's part of the Resistance, so he flies around in his helmet is a stormtrooper helmet that's been painted over, so kind of reminds you of Clone Wars. And I believe there's a Rhodian pilot, and I forget. Donald Faison plays a character that's like, his last name is Faison as well, and he's sort of the grizzled veteran as well. So that's interesting. He's such a Star Wars fan that his character is actually, last name is Faison as well. Spelled differently, but pronounced the same way. So check it out. It's a really cool featurette. I haven't watched the full thing with audio. I was at work when I was watching it. I was like, oh, this looks awesome. Yeah, so check that out on the Star Wars YouTube channel. And this has been your Hollow News.
Hollow News.
Top 5.
Do we have a top 5?
We do have a top 5. Top 5 cool things from the Han Solo DVD, Blu-ray, digital download extras. Mine's going to be, I really liked the little featurette they had about how they made the speeder race in Corellia, where they actually use real cars that looked like they floated because of, I don't know how cars work, but it was a mixture of like real cars, digital cars, and stunts and blah 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 blah. It's a really interesting way to see how they make it. I mean, I'm sure if you've watched any like extras on action movie, that you've seen a lot of this, but it's just neat to see. Like, oh wow, that's cool.
I like the Corellian foot chase.
What about it?
The way it was shot. It looks beautiful with the dogs and the.
Yeah.
I think, and I think it's a beautiful looking movie. I really like it. It's got a lot of mood, a lot of atmosphere, which I think a lot of big budget movies are missing nowadays. I think it's beautiful, and I really think that scene showcased the beauty of Solo, a Star Wars story.
I liked, my number 4 was when they're in the eel tank and Han says to Kira, it's like, are you gripping my leg? But it's actually an eel biting into his leg. Because it's like, that's fun, but it's also like, you know, Star Wars, we've talked about this before, isn't really sexualized. So like, I mean, people kiss and stuff like that and clearly get married and have kids. But like, I don't feel like there's ever a moment where they're like, ooh, are you getting a little frisky, which is kind of like going on there. So it was interesting.
Yeah, that's definitely new in the Star Wars universe. My number 3 is the car chase behind the scenes.
Nice, yeah.
Because it was fun. And then it's fun when you listen to the, when you read the John Kasdan stuff, that wasn't really in there for a while. That wasn't in the original draft. So
right, they were supposed to run.
Yeah, it took a while for them to come up with that, and I think that it's a great opening.
Yeah. My number 3 is probably the snowball fight as a whole, because as I said before, I like how it looks like they just did it and they were like, oh, this is kind of neat. Well, like, we'll just use this or whatever, because it's like when Beckett's like, hey, you're feeling like it's actually Woody Harrelson, and be like, hey, can we not do this right now, sort of thing. I liked it.
And I like the Academy stuff with Solo. Number 2, Academy stuff. Because I think it would have been nice to see more of him in the Imperial Academy.
Yeah.
Side Akbar. Remember when Darth Ward, was like, he won't be in that? He was. He was in Imperial. He was.
Yeah, I liked how, I guess 2 is the same, that scene is my number 2 as well. I like how, like, he's in the TIE Fighter, and he's got, like, not the typical mask.
Yeah, it's
helmet.
Yeah.
Maybe because they're like, well, it's jarring if you don't know it's him. Like, it's kind of, I like the
idea. It's probably
like,
like just to show his face.
Yeah, I like though, like, it's like, oh, he's not a full pilot yet. This is just a training helmet. And my number 1,
snowball fight. I love the snowball fight. I don't care. I'm fine that that's not in the movie, but it added a lot of humor, and it shows you the relationship between Han and Chewie, and I want more of that.
My number 1 is probably, again, in the Academy scene where he's like, boring conversation anyway. Or like, I didn't want to do that conversation where he flicks it off. Kind of showing, one, it's a homage to the line from A New Hope. But I like the idea that, like, Han is determined to accomplish the impossible. Where it's like, you're going to crash. He's like, no, we'll be fine. I'll get there. And besides, like, a bandage over his eye, he's like, well, he landed it.
Yeah, it's true. I love Han Solo. It's such a great Great character. That was a top 5. What are your top 5? Did you get Solo on Blu-ray or digital? Are you waiting for Blu-ray? Are you going to get it on both? Are you looking forward to Solo 2, which is definitely happening? You heard it here first, folks.
Oh my gosh. Han Solo 2. Back to Tatooine.
I'd watch that. Anything else you want to say before we wrap this puppy up?
Check out our Patreon. You know the game. Check it out. Patreon, Rebel Scum Podcast. Different tiers, different things. Please contribute. If you don't, that's okay. But if you do, that's great.
Yeah, and we're getting around to having you guys, the Patreons, on the shows. Once your schedules are all worked around, we will get it all. And we'll have special shows. And we promise only 5 of you will have to talk to Andrew Fantasia.
I'm sorry. Thank you for taking this burden on yourselves. He is the worst.
He's the worst, and Brock, you were always scum.
Rebel Scum.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.